This is going to be my vintage story forever world, and to make this my forever world, I'm going to need a house suitable for my long-term projects I have in mind. And in the last episode, we finally entered the Copper Age and built ourselves a cozy forge, giving us everything we need to start making some real progress. But as much as I love our starter settlement, I think we've definitely outgrown it. So today, I'm packing up everything and setting off to find the perfect place to build our new, more long-term homestead. That being said, my name is Toomer, and this is episode 3 of my vintage story. As I stated in the intro, I really want to do a build today, and that build is going to be my new base because I've definitely outgrown this one. It's very cozy, I like it, but it's a little too primitive, and I want to build something a little nicer and something that will be a little bit more long-term. I'm definitely ready to move on to bigger things. So I'm just getting some food here and some basic supplies, so then I can spend the day walking around trying to figure out what the perfect location is for my future house I want to build. So yeah, I'm gonna prep a couple more things and then try and find the perfect location to build my starter house. Or no, not starter house. This is my starter house. To build my kind of permanent house. Unless I build like a castle or something, then I would probably want to move into that. A less temporary house. That's what I want to build today. On the map here, you can see the really cool mountain range that I found in the last episode when I was... Wow, I'm glad that wasn't a cave. I was looking for crops though, and I walked about 1,000 blocks south. I found this really cool mountain range, but I just remember that mountain range being like super beautiful to walk through, and I'd like to just take a look at it. However, I don't think I'm just going to settle there. I'd like to do a little bit more searching around before I come up with a final decision. And it looks like we've got some ruins with a vessel, cracked vessel, food. Ooh, rice. That's one of the better grains, I believe. Once I get a fire clay, I can turn this into bread or something. I think you can make rice bread. Maybe? Yeah, you can make rice dough. I wasn't tripping. And I guess while I'm out here, I should probably be on the lookout for more copper because I'm probably going to go through a lot of tools building this thing. I'm going to have to do a lot of resource collection, and I'm also going to be doing a lot of chiseling. I might even have to get bronze tools for this, honestly, because copper durability isn't the best. Oh, the mountain range was loading in, but now it's not. I think it became like cloudy or something. It was a little jarring. It does still look really cool in the fog though. Is this an area I would want to build in? This is really beautiful. I like this. It's just there's a lot of bushes and trees, and I wouldn't mind clearing those out and making this a little bit more open and flat. Okay, this area is actually a little more flat, a little more open. And it has a really good view. That's like a perfect view. That's actually exactly what I was imagining. Let me come back over here and look at it. Bam. Whoa. That does look super cool. I do like that. I like this area a lot. And it looks like we've got some caves and stuff in the side of this mountain that would be kind of fun to explore. I can't imagine like a small little village in this area, and I definitely want to shave back some of this forest because these can get pretty dangerous as we've seen in the past. Another thing I want to keep in mind though is I want to build a castle eventually, because I can totally envision like a chill little cottage down there and like a bunch of farms and other village buildings and stuff that would all have different uses. I can totally imagine that right there, but I just can't picture like a castle being up over there. There's no like plateau or ledge for it to sit on. So for that, I'm going to have to give this place like an 8.5 out of 10. I guess I can rank all the different locations I find. So we're definitely starting off strong, but it's not perfect. So I think I'm going to keep looking around, and I might try and head a little bit more west and see what's over here. Oh, and look at that. I just ran into a bunch of copper. So I guess I can pick that up. Oh, and a comment I got on the last episode told me to dig where I found the nuggets. So I'm going to do that. I definitely struggled last time when I was trying to find the copper ore underground. So maybe that'll help me if I dig straight down. Actually, you know, I'm just going to mine it right now while I'm here because it's still pretty early in the day. Oh, okay, wow. The comment was definitely right. That's quite a bit of copper. That's good. That's going to fund the tools I'm going to need this episode for all the resource gathering I'm going to do. And thank you again to the guy that told me to dig an area to mark exactly where the nuggets were. It worked flawlessly. Although I think it would make more sense to do that if I needed to come back to mine it, but that's fine. I'd say it worked pretty well. Look at this floating generation right here. It generated a little bit of a heart. This is for all the people that liked and commented on the last video and subscribed. I really appreciate you guys. Ooh, a free gear. Whoa. The generation's looking a little wacky over there. This area looks kind of cool. I'm not a big fan of these mountain types that kind of just like pillar up. They look like a little weird and blobby. I'm definitely more of a fan of the mountains that are a little bit more realistically shaped, or at least like have nicer peaks. This looks a little strange, but I guess I can keep this area in mind. It's definitely not higher than the last though. I'd give this place like a 5, maybe a 5.5, just because this little valley over here looks pretty nice, but I don't know. I don't think I would build here. Another thing that I should keep in mind is the longer I explore, the farther I go, the more difficult it's going to be to move all of my stuff from my starter house to, you know, wherever I end up basing at. I only have so much inventory space and, oh, more copper. Might as well just mine it all up while I'm here. I really need to start looking into upgrading my inventory situation because it's definitely a little rough. Whoa, this looks super weird. I've never seen any generation like this before. And it looks to me that there's a lot of quartz in this area, which is kind of nice because I'm probably going to need a lot of that for the windows on the house I plan on making. Looks like there's a trader over here. I should definitely go check that out. What? You can buy a wolf pup? I did not know that was a thing. Wait, can you like tame it? If you buy it, will it grow up and like, will it be your pet? I don't know if that's how that works, but if that is how that works, that's really cool. Oh, and look at all this. This is all bauxite. Interesting. Okay. Pretty sure bauxite is important. I'm not sure for what. You use it to craft these bricks, but I don't know what you use these for. Are these just for building? Oh, I think you need bauxite for getting into the Iron Age. Okay, interesting. Well, I'll leave that there for now. I don't really like the orange though. It's a little bright and a little too much. So I think I'm gonna head back more this way and see what's over here. Because yeah, I'm not loving this area. Although this pond is super calm. I like this. And there's the back of the mountain that we were looking at earlier. Yeah, the mountain definitely looks pretty crazy from this side, but there isn't a whole lot of like super flat areas for me to like build on. Is that a bear? Oh wow, that's a bear. This terrain over here looks a little too crazy. I guess like down here is a little bit more manageable, but nah, I don't think so. 2 out of 10. I know water doesn't entirely break your fall damage if it's too shallow. I think this is deep enough. Let's see. No, actually that almost killed me. Wow, okay, that was almost death, and I would have had to do such a long walk back here. I am never doing that again. Oh, and while I'm right here, I think this is the same fruit tree I walked by in the last episode, and people were telling me I should have got that because these are a little rare. And then I can replant these. That's another bear right now, and that's a grizzly, and it will one-shot me in the state I'm in. I need to be more careful right now. I'm so low. I found this like really cool, like I guess lagoon, kind of secret lake area. I think this looks really cool. Found some horsetail. I should probably collect this up so I can make some more bandages. And I still have yet to find a temporal gear, so if I die, the walk back is going to be egregious. It's starting to get a little later, so it's probably smart to just head home. I did not know the game could get this foggy. This is kind of crazy. This looks like old Minecraft. Yeah, I've never seen the game this foggy. Look how ominous that looks. Kind of feels like I'm like way high up in the sky right now, even though I'm not. Anyways, I'll keep heading home. Alright, so I spent the night clay forming these storage vessels because I'm going to need a lot of storage to transport all the things from my house over to where I would like to build. So I should probably go ahead and throw them in the pit kilns. There we go. All right, so I've got all those firing, and hopefully by the time I'm ready to move all of my stuff from this location to the next, those will be ready. And now I'm pretty excited because I need to do some forging. So I have an excuse to use this cozy forge that I built in the last episode. I grabbed all the copper chunks I've collected and used the hammer to turn them into nuggets. I went ahead and made 700 units of copper, which would equate to 7 individual tool heads or ingots, because I'm going to be going through a lot of tools with all the resource collection I have to do, and copper tools don't have the best durability. But now we have all these tools that we're going to be able to craft, and once that finishes cooling down, I think I'm going to set out and start looking for materials to gather for the house that I'm going to be building. And one of the materials is raw daub, and I know I'm going to need a lot of this stuff, but it doesn't look like it's too expensive to get. Oh wow, these cool down really fast actually, so I can go ahead and pick all of these up now. But now I can take the sticks I have and combine it with all of these to make a pretty good set of tools here. And before I do any resource collection, I would like to wait for these to finish firing down because I don't want to collect the resources over here and move them all the way to where I'm going to be building at. I'd like to just collect them in that area. Oh no, I just realized this guy was eating my crops. The next farm I build is going to have a fence that goes all the way around it. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm just going to wait for these to finish firing down and I will start gathering resources. I've collected a couple things that I'd like to just get put away right away when I get there. And obviously, I would like to take these with me as well, which they have finished down firing. But now that I got all this situated, I'm going to start heading over there. I don't think I mentioned where I was going to be building, and I think it was kind of obvious where I was going to end up building, and it was here. No doubt about it. I just love this area so much. The view of this mountain is beautiful. There's this nice plains right here. We've got access to the big lake still, and there's just so many resources in this general area that I think will be really good to be around, as well as a lot of caves that I'd like to poke my head in eventually. Not yet, though. I'm definitely not geared enough to go down there. It just seemed like this was a really awesome place to set up. And I think the spot I want to build the house in is right here, like centered with the mountain. I think that would be so cool to have in the background. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and set up, oh, I'm going to have to break all this, and set up all the storage I've brought and fill these with the materials I'm going to need to build the house with. And also all this random junk I brought with me. Oh, and I'm glad I brought these because I can go ahead and plant these right away. I think I just might throw these over here for now and I'll see if these grow. But before I start building, I'm going to have to go back to the house because I'm going to want to grab all of the food I had prepped because I did prep a lot of food. And I would like to have that over here so while I'm gathering resources and stuff, I don't have to worry about starving or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But this is what I want to bring back. So I'll definitely be coming back here though because I don't have my foraging stuff over there yet. And I just realized it would probably be smart to stick all of this food underground because these are only fresh for a couple days. By sticking it underground, it kind of simulates like I have a cellar. That makes it good for 3.9 days. So it just increases the time it'll be good for by a little bit. I'll grab this one that's only fresh for a couple days and I'll just set it right here so I can keep refilling my food. But now I've got the tools I need and I'm at the location. Now it's time to start collecting all the resources I'm going to need to build this house. It should be a good amount of dry grass to start with. Next, I was going to need either chalk sand or lime sand. The specific color of daub I wanted required one of these types of sand. I mined up a patch of the sand that generated nearby, and I noticed that it was not the correct type. It was at this point I realized finding the ones I actually needed was not going to be easy. Yeah, I definitely chose the right area to settle in. This place looks awesome. I really like this. Anyways, I'm going to have breakfast. And now I need to go and search for limestone sand or chalk sand. And then I need to find more blue clay. I don't know how difficult this is going to be, but I haven't seen limestone since I've spawned in. And I'm not like too well versed in how the generation works in this game. So I'm kind of just going to have to pick a direction and hope I get lucky. And unfortunately, I was not lucky. I walked around and explored for a while, heading far east and far south and then far west. I found many breathtaking landscapes, marking some of them for possible future building locations, but I still couldn't find the chalk or limestone sand. Whoa. I think that is the biggest mountain I have seen in this game yet. I am definitely going to keep this place in mind for the future. I'm finding like a lot of awesome building spots just walking around. Okay, so I've done quite a bit of exploring. I literally walked all the way out here and then came down, around, back up, and now I'm over here. And I still haven't found limestone or chalk, and I think I'm gonna have to go a lot farther out if I want to find any of those. I haven't even came across blue clay yet. I think I'm just like super unlucky. Originally, I wanted to use the light brown raw daub, and that required the limestone and chalk. However, the tan raw daub just requires granite sand, and I think I would find that a lot sooner than I would find the limestone and chalk. So I think that's what I'm gonna look for instead. And I've circled all the way back to the base, so I might as well just drop everything off and sleep while I'm here because it is about to be nighttime. All right, and it is sunrise now. It's the next day. And while I waited for the sun to set last night, I went ahead and dug out the area where the house is going to be going. And this is the very basic layout of what it's going to look like. It's a lot bigger than my starter house, that's for sure. And it's going to have a second floor, kind of, more like an attic, and also a basement, so then I can have a proper cellar for storing my food. So then I just don't have to keep digging it up underground. And now that I have that dug out, it feels a lot more real, like I'm about to build a house here, except I still don't have any of the materials for it. So I'm going to spend another day walking around and looking for materials. Well, I just found more blue clay, so that's good, but I'm not going to mine it up right now because I don't feel like filling my inventory up when I'm going to have to be carrying back a lot more of the granite sand, whenever I find it, that is. At this point, I've literally traveled like all the way around here, and so I might as well just complete the loop. I see a grizzly bear over there. I don't want to mess with that guy, but I also found this really, honestly, ominous looking setter. Oh my god, he came after me. Wow, that actually scared the shit out of me. I need a breather or something. Okay, I'm just gonna steer clear of this area. I was walking in this ravine and, oh, I guess I missed him over there, but I came across some chalk. I need the sand, but can I do anything with this? By the looks of it, I don't think I can do anything with the actual stones, but because I found this, I'm wondering maybe next time I find a little bit of a lake, there'll be some chalk sand surrounding it. Like over there. Is that chalk? That does not seem to be chalk. Oh man, I found more chalk. I thought this was sand, but nope, that is not. That is still the rock. Maybe that means I'm getting closer. It looks like the terrain is slowly shifting from whatever that stuff to, oh, granite. I didn't even realize this was granite here, but also more chalk. What is this over here? Granite sand. The granite sand wasn't my first choice, but it's gonna have to do. I'm so happy I finally found it. And of course a rift forms here. That's awesome. Well, I just ate the last bit of my food, so I don't think it's smart for me to stay out any longer. I should definitely start heading back. I know in the last episode, I asked what you guys thought about me turning off rifts, and a lot of you guys seem to agree with how annoying the rifts can be, and it sounded like you guys wouldn't mind if I turned them off. We'll see how building this house is. If I get a rift spawning near me while I'm building, I might just turn it off. I forgot to record, but I stopped by the base, and I got some more food and an extra shovel, and now I'm heading to where I marked the blue clay earlier, and I'm gonna go ahead and dig that up. Okay, I think that's more than enough blue clay for now. Hopefully that's a good start. If I need more, I can come back up here, because this isn't actually too far from the base. Alright, and now that I'm back home, I can dump off all the blue clay I gathered up. What's the last thing I need? Soil, which I do have a lot of it here. Alright, now I can see how much I'm going to get here from this. So if I just all put it in the crafting menu like this, we get raw daub, and that got us 2 stacks, and those are stacks of 128, so that's actually quite a bit. We actually might not have to collect any more. I guess I can do a test here, how much daub you need for 1 block. I'm going to put this around the edge just so I can have like a layout of the house before I start building. So right here is where I'm going to have the daub at. So I'm just going to take this fence and I'll bring it along like this. And now I can see how much daub goes into 1 block. Hopefully not a lot. Was that 6? I think that was 6. Yeah, okay. So it's 6 daub to 1 block, but then you can click on it again and it makes it a little bit more refined. And then you can click on it again. It makes it super clean. It is a little pricey, but I do have a lot of it. And this whole building isn't going to be made out of daub, just this section over here. And I guess this end little bit, because right here, I want it to be whatever this is. I want to put this block like this, just so it's a little bit of an accent and the whole thing isn't just like this plaster white. Yeah, I think that's going to look super cool. So, and it looks like a rift has just formed right next to my base. Exactly what I did not want to happen. And there's actually quite a few of them. So I'm going to go install a mod that prevents that from happening. And it does look like that's worked. There are no rifts around here. Much better. Oh no. A temporal storm is approaching. This game really wants me to just deal with the temporal stuff. Oh wow, look at that. I just got a temporal gear. Oh, that's perfect. I think the front door is going to be somewhere around right here, so I'm just going to set my spawn point right here. That's awesome, so if I die, then I don't got to worry about doing a super long walk back. Well, I guess while I wait for this storm to arrive, I can do some building. Yeah, so far I'm liking this. This looks pretty good. Okay, and then I want to come 2 blocks over from here, put some more wattle fences down like this, and I'm going to create a little extension to the roof whenever I have a roof up there. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Yeah, that looks good. I'm really liking how this house is turning out so far though. I built a very rough outline in creative of what I wanted the house to look like, and bringing it into survival here, it feels really good. And looks like the temporal storm is here now, so I'm actually going to go hide in this little hole I dug out earlier. And we'll continue with the house once this storm passes through. Oh, he just spawned in here. I don't know how he did that. I have a torch in here. I'm going to take this and block myself in. Now I'm going to wait for this thing to pass through. Okay, so I think the storm has stopped. Oh, they despawned. I heard some drifters out here, but I guess they're gone. And before I even step outside, I'm going to craft another spear because I don't know if all these drifters are just going to be roaming around or if they despawn with the storm. But you can never be too safe. I am actually seeing some drifters walking around, so just need to be a little mindful of that. Okay, for the walls, that looks pretty good. It was a lot trying to find the materials to craft the daub, but I'd say so far it was well worth it. I think that looks really good. And I haven't fully decided if I want to get rid of the cracked daub, but I'll keep it for now. When I get to like the detailing phase of this build, I'll figure it out. But now I got to figure out the roof. Before I get started on the roof though, I want to head back to my old settlement to grab the rest of my tools and stuff because my copper ones, at least my copper pickaxe, is starting to get pretty low in durability. Alright, and I'm back at the old place. Let's see. I'll just take the pickaxe, and I'll take the prospecting pickaxe as well. Why not? And is there anything from over here? I guess I can take the bucket with me. Oh, I'm probably going to want to transport all these seeds over. And speaking of seeds, the crops I planted are doing quite well. Looks like they're almost fully grown. I guess that's one reason to come back to the old settlement. I have this to tend to. Anyways, I've got the tools. Most of the red clay I found in the world is up here, and I need to dig a lot of it, so I might go and do that before I head back, because I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but I'm going to be using red ceramic shingles for the roof. I think it looks alright. I wish I could have access to the other colors that there are, like tan or black, but because I don't have the beehive kiln, my options are limited in colors, so I'm just going to go with the red. I gathered up 7 stacks of red clay, and now I have to turn it all into shingles. I've never actually made shingles before. In my first playthrough, I only ever used thatch for my roofs that I built. Okay, that's actually not that bad, and that only took up 4 red clay, so I probably have more than enough for the roof that I'm going to build. That's good. Alright, that finishes off the block of shingles that I've made. Now I gotta fire this. I wonder if I can fire all of these at the same time. Where am I gonna put the pit kilns? I guess for now I can just set them over here. Okay, that works for now. Three stacks. I don't know if that's gonna be enough. And can I fire these all at the same time? No. Am I doing something wrong? Okay. So it looks like I can only do a couple layers. And I'm short sticks. Got the shingles firing down now. I still have 48 left over. I should probably make an additional kiln. That's 3 stacks of shingles all being fired down. I hope that's enough to do the roof. Anyways, it's getting a little late now, so I should probably just sleep. It does look like I am running low on food, so I'm probably going to have to do some hunting soon. Yeah, so I'll probably just go look for animals, but while I'm doing that, I would like to mine up a bunch of quartz. I'm going to want quartz to make glass for windows for the house, so I'll go ahead and just gather that now. Oh, perfect. Quartz right there. Oh. I need a bronze pickaxe to get quartz. Alright then, I guess I'm going to have to get bronze, which is as far as I got to my last playthrough. I am running pretty low on food, and I need to go on a mining adventure to get bronze, so I'm going to go ahead and start cooking up the meat that I just gathered up while I was out. And I'm glad I brought my prospecting pickaxe over here from the old base because I'm going to be needing this. In fact, while I wait on that to cook, I can come over here and just take a sample of the area. I guess I can come in here. I believe there's 2 options. So there's searching for individual nodes, and then there's like an area search. This is the one I want to do. So the way this works is I need to break 3 blocks, and they can't be right next to each other. They got to be kind of spaced apart. So I think if I get this one, okay, and one over here, why not? Right here, down in the chat, it says that there's minuscule amounts of all these ores, and the one I'm interested in is cassiterite because you combine this with copper to make bronze. And now I need to go take a sample somewhere else. Over time, I'll fill up the map with these dots, and I can slowly pinpoint the location of ores. I continued prospecting around the area. Since I hadn't done this in a while, it took me a minute to get the hang of it, and I was kind of just wandering around aimlessly, trying to look for readings of cassiterite. I decided to climb the mountain by my base and take some readings, but I ran into a very strange creature. What is that? A polar bear? What? Aren't polar bears the only bear in real life to actually hunt humans? Okay, I don't think it's very smart to be up here. Oh, wait, what is that thing? It's not a polar bear. I've never seen one of these before. I got a really nice view from on top of the mountain, but there was no readings of cassiterite, so I decided to just head back. While I was descending down though, I found this creepy door in the cliffside. It seemed to be some kind of tomb. It had a really nice looking storage vessel and torch holders, so I took those. Hopefully whatever was laid to rest in there doesn't come back to haunt me for that. Okay, so I know the shingles have finished firing, and those do look really good. I want to see. Oh, that's actually a really good color. Anyways, we're going to come back to those because I still want to find the cassiterite so I can make bronze because I'm going to need quartz regardless. I'd rather get as much as the resource gathering as I can done now so then I can focus on the building and stuff. Based off the samples I took over here, I think this would be the area I would want to check for cassiterite next. However, I'm seeing a ruin over here I could check out. And it doesn't look like there's a storage vessel in here. But there's a massive oak tree. Wow, that looks pretty crazy. Not seeing any cave or exposed stone, so I guess I'll just dig in the ground here to take a sample. Okay, now there's no more cassiterite, so I'm doing this very wrong. You guys must be so frustrated watching me try to figure this out. I gathered more and more readings of the surrounding area, and surprisingly, the forest right next to my house had very high readings of cassiterite, which I think was the game's way of apologizing for making me travel thousands of blocks to find the sand I needed earlier for the build, or at least I thought it was, because once I had pinpointed a good area to start strip mining, I couldn't find the ore. I was underground for a while, digging a spiral staircase down, then digging a branch out and using the node search to scan the area for nearby ore veins, but I couldn't find anything. So I was going to have to come back to this in a bit, as my tools were all low in durability. I want to take a break from all the mining, and I want to focus on the roof now. So I'm going to come over here and grab the shingles up. I think you just craft it like this. Oh, and you get 2 for 3. Okay, so that should be a good start. Alright, so I'm a couple shingles short. That kind of sucks, but that's not a big deal. I was able to get a majority of the roof on, and we can take a step back and look at it. Okay, that's starting to look like an actual house. I'm just going to have to craft up a couple more shingles, but yeah, that's a good start. I like that a lot. Originally in my creative test world, I used a different shade of shingle, not knowing I wouldn't be able to obtain it yet, but I think the red actually looks better than what I had originally used, so I'm not mad about that. I'm going to get rid of this. But yeah, I'm really happy with that so far. After forging a new set of tools, I headed back to where I had done my prospecting and started digging a new hole. However, I still couldn't find the cassiterite, and long story short, I had to go back to my forge and create another set. While I was there though, I did take the time to harvest my fully grown crop field, and then I replanted it, so then hopefully I could get another harvest in before winter arrives. On my way back, I got attacked by a vicious goat, and even though I was on 1 HP, I thought it'd be smart to try and attack some pigs, but they killed me, making that my second death. Thankfully, I got a temporal gear earlier, so it made for a quick walk back to get my stuff. Eventually, I got home and I prepped all my food, and I headed back into the mines, which I finally found the tin ore, aka cassiterite, that I would be able to use to unlock the Bronze Age. I went through like 3 or 4 sets of copper pickaxes, and I dug so much, and it was right here. I finally found it. I was so close this whole time too. I hope this is enough to get at least 1 bronze tool, because realistically I just need 1 bronze pickaxe. If I could make multiple, that would be nice. Oh, am I gonna need a bronze hammer? No, because if I'm just using a mold, it should be fine. Yeah, so realistically I just need 1 bronze pickaxe to go mine up all the quartz. So I think I'm set to gather the last bit of the materials and finish up the house. Alright, and we're back at the forge. That only gave me 9 nuggets. But I can get 4 units of tin bronze. Okay, that's good. However, I think I want to save some of this because I don't need all of that right now. So I'm just going to do 200. Oh, for a second there, I thought I was going to be short. I don't know what I would have done. Probably cancel the series. That's a joke, by the way. Alright, so I just need to let this smelt up. And also, last time I was here, I started a charcoal pit, and yep, it's finished now. Alright, and that's finished cooking down. So we could just go ahead and pour it in our molds. Put these back on the rack, and I just gotta wait for these to cool. I'm so excited. If you guys are wondering why there's pickaxes laying around, these are all on 1 durability. Oh, wait, what? Apparently this one isn't. Alright, I guess I got a spare copper pickaxe. I didn't even know that. This one was also on 1 durability. Okay, interesting. Got the tools laying around the shop and stuff. It makes it look a little more rustic in here. Oh, look at that. The bronze tools look so cool. They kind of look like gold. I wonder if you could just make gold tools in this game. Oh yeah, you can definitely make gold tools. Interesting. I wonder if they have like low durability like in Minecraft. Oh yeah, they do. So I don't know why you would ever do that, but cool. I still have this from last episode that I never completed. I think I was making nails. I should probably finish that sometime. I will eventually. We've got the pickaxe head and the... Oh, that's too hot. Okay, now it's good. All right, now that these have cooled down, I can... Oh, what? It let me pull it out the thing, but I guess it's too hot. I'll throw the spare ingot in here for now. If I need any other bronze tools in the future, I have that just in case. And I have all these spare copper ingots I should probably do something with as well. And I guess while this is cooling down, I can go get some water because I'm getting a little thirsty IRL, which they should add a thirst bar to this game. I know there's a mod that does it, but it'd be kind of interesting how the devs would implement that. They could add different types of drinks and maybe tea. That could be kind of cool. Okay, I think, yeah, this should be good to hold now. So I could take this and craft my very first bronze pickaxe. Ah, finally. That feels so good to do that. That seriously took way too long for me to get. Now that I've got the bronze pickaxe, I'm going to head back over to where I found that quartz ore originally and finally mine it up. I can start making some more progress on the house. I am so excited. And I just thought about it. While I'm over here, I should probably grab my chisel because I'm definitely going to be needing that for building here in a minute. All right, with all these and my new bronze pickaxe, this should be enough for the rest of the resource collection and building I have planned for today's episode. I think by the time I finish this episode, I would have more than doubled my playtime on this world for just one episode. But that makes sense because as I get farther into the series, the buildings are going to get more and more detailed and require more and more resources. And that's where the fun of this game really comes from, is all the different systems they have in place for something as simple as getting a certain brick type or making new tools. Oh my god! That guy was just waiting right by my camp. I didn't even hit him, he just attacked me. Why did they do that? I guess I can throw all my spare tools in here for now, and I'm gonna go mine up that quartz. Actually, I don't even have to go over there to mine up the quartz. I found some over here, underground. Yep, right here, all this quartz that I found earlier. So I think I'm looking for clear quartz chunks, like these ones. These are the ones I can use for glass, but I gotta figure out if this is gonna be enough quartz or not, because I don't really know how this works. Do I just like take this and surround it with sticks? Okay, yeah. What about this though? Smelt in bloomery. Oh, damn it. I don't have a bloomery. And I don't think putting it in here will cook it down, but I guess I could try that. I doubt that's going to work though. Yeah, that's not doing anything. Okay, that kind of sucks. So I guess that means I'm going to have to go mine up the quartz over there as well. But that's all right. There's so much quartz in this area, so that's not a big deal at all. There it is. I got a lot of regular quartz, but like I was saying, it's the clear quartz that I needed, and I'd say that's a good amount. I'm not going to put 36 windows on it, but because I'm chiseling and I'm going to be adding, like a window might look like it's only 1 block wide, but it might be between 4 blocks wide, which would mean I would have to use like double the quartz on it. We're going to be in mid-August, so I'm trying not to sleep. I'm trying to conserve my time before I hit fall. Oh my god, I don't need all this predatite. I might just throw some of this out, put it over here for now. But yeah, that's a good amount of quartz. Now I gotta gather the sticks to make all the windows. And instead of using my copper axe and just breaking it right away, I think I'm just gonna make a bunch of stone axes, and I'm gonna go cut down a bunch of oak trees because I'm gonna want oak wood for this build as well. So I'll be able to gather up all the sticks I need, as well as a lot of the logs I'll be needing. I gotta use 4 sticks to craft these, but it's an investment because hopefully I'll get more back. All right, cool. Looks like I've got an oak tree right here. And, ooh, are the leaves starting to change color? I can't tell if it's just dark or if that looks a little yellow. Walnut. I wonder what this wood looks like. I opened up the handbook to look at walnut, and comparing it to oak, maybe I can include both, because I think this looks a lot like more old. I might try to include some walnut in the build as well. Oh, I guess it used my copper axe anyways. Guess I can put my torch in my offhand for now. And I'm just going to haul all this back to the base. And I guess I have this giant oak tree over here I could cut down. But that looks too cool to do that. I'd feel bad if I did that. I gotta leave that tree there. Okay, so now we have a bunch of logs, and I just realized I forgot my saw at my old settlement, so I'm gonna have to go back there to get that. Before I do that though, I'm just gonna gather up more sticks because I'm gonna be needing that. And yeah, the leaves are definitely starting to change color. Guys, we are gonna be in fall very soon. Okay, that's a good amount of sticks to get started, I think. All right, I'll be taking this, and I'm just going to take the other hammer just in case. I have a lot of chiseling, and a lot of crafting recipes require the hammer, so I'm just going to grab it while I'm over here, just in case my other one breaks. All right, it's looking clear outside. I've got all the tools I should need to build this, as well as all of the blocks and materials. So with all that out the way, I can finally try and finish this build. At least the exterior. I don't know if I'm going to get to the interior today. I forgot to get slate. Luckily, I know where some of that is. It's by the old settlement, so I'm heading back there one final time. I really hope. This does give me a very cool idea, though. Eventually, I would like to have roads going all throughout the world that connect up different resource gathering areas. And then in those areas, I could have like little settlements or camps or something. So if I ever need slate for a build, I can take a road there and it'll be a lot faster than just walking through the wilderness. Because if you didn't know, when you walk on path blocks in this game, it increases your speed. I think it doubles it or something like that. So you actually walk very, very fast on it and you can cover a lot of ground very quickly. So connecting your builds with paths is actually extremely viable. It is a lot of work though, but I'd say it's definitely worth the grind. And it just looks really cool when you have a bunch of paths going around your world. So that's something I definitely intend on doing. I remembered incorrectly. This is actually shale, not slate. However, I think it's close enough in color to where it won't be a big deal. And underneath should be slate rock. Yeah, that's actually very close in color to what I want to use this for. And you guys will see, it really won't matter having that slight difference. All right, 4 stacks should be enough. I'm only using this for like the very fine details of the house. So I don't imagine I would need any more than that. All right, the sun is rising now. It is time to start the detailing phase of this build. Right now we have a good base, but that's all it is. There's nothing else to it. It doesn't feel like a home yet. It just feels like an empty vessel. But now we can add the features to it that will make it feel like a home. And I'm very excited. And the first thing is going to be adding the windows. And I'm going to have one right here and one right here. And I don't think chiseling actually depletes the hammer durability because it's at 432 there. And then if I go ahead and break some, it's still at 432. Okay, so it's just the chisel. Okay, that doesn't look too bad so far. But now this is where the walnut is going to come into play, which I'm going to be using the planks texture. Yeah, I think that looks good. And now if I come over here and I add this to this, I can add a wooden frame around the window. Although I think I want to pull the window out a little bit. I don't want it to be set in too much. It's going to be a little bit of a thicker window, but that's fine. I think it'll look better this way. Chiseling glass is kind of difficult. It's hard to tell if you miss a spot or not, but I think I did pretty good there. And it has this foggy texture to it because it is quartz glass, but I actually prefer that over just like crystal clear glass. I think that looks kind of cool. But now that we have that in place, I can go ahead and add the frame around the side. Okay, that's looking pretty good so far. Although I'm not a fan of it just being a perfect square. I think I want it to be a little bit more rectangular. So I might bring it in a little bit. Yeah, I'd say that looks a little better. And now if I go ahead and add the shale to all of these, and now if I take the shale up like this, we get this really cool looking frame texture on the window. And you know what? I really like that. I think that looks really good. However, to detail this further, I want to make this kind of protrude a little bit on the corners and then add another row of the walnut wood going around. I'm a huge fan with how that's looking. That's already helping the build so much. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this one right here. All right, so I went ahead and added in the second window, and I think so far it's looking really good. And then I also added the support beams to act as like frames going over it. And then I also added some vines just to make it look a little bit overgrown. It kind of sets it into the land around it a little bit more. But now I'm going to be working on this window. I've already chiseled out the shape of it. I wanted it to be a little bit different from these ones. And yeah, I'm going to get this one in place now. So now we've got the glass in, and then next I need to add in the wooden frame. Oh, and also, I forgot to mention this, but these trees started to grow. I had 2 over here, but they had died. But at least these ones are growing, as well as the one over there. So we're gonna have a couple fruit trees in the area. But back to this. So I'm gonna take the frame up and around like this. Okay, and for the wooden frame, I think that looks pretty good. And I think I wanna do like a cool design in this window. I don't know what yet, but I think that could be kind of fun to play around with. It definitely looks a little weird, but from a distance, I think it still looks pretty fine. And I'm gonna add in the details now, so it'll look a little better. Okay, it's not perfect, and I definitely want to tweak around with it a little bit more, but I think for the time being, that looks okay. I think I'm just going to leave it for now, but I'll probably change it in the future. Part of the reason for that is because my chisel is getting a little low on durability, and I'd like to keep it because there's a little bit more I'd like to do for the exterior on this thing, which is actually the next thing I need to do. I'm going to need my dark mud brick. I'd like to add a trim on the cobblestone, or what I can do is break this entirely and place this here. This will actually make this a little easier to work with. What I want to do is shave off some of these bricks. Yeah, I think that's an okay start. And now what I want to do is come in here and refine it. So get rid of all these parts that look weird. And now that we have that in place, I can come back and add in the cobblestone and then put it right back into the build. All right, and let's see. That looks so much better. I think that actually adds a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and do it on the other side. Oh no, my chisel broke and I only had that little bit left, but I think that looks really good. I'm a huge fan of having that on the corners, and also I just realized I'm gonna have to do it on these sides as well. So I would have needed another chisel regardless, but I think that looks really good. And it kind of makes me want to bring it up along the roof trim as well, but I'll think about that. So far though, I'm really happy with how the house is turning out. I think it looks super cozy. Oh my god, that was another very close death. The second time I've been thrown off a cliff by one of these guys, but I literally have no more food, so I had to do it. I just went ahead and harvested my cabbages because they give a whopping 300 saturation as opposed to the other crops like the turnips, which only give 80, I believe. I would like to turn this into a meal, but I'm kind of starving right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and just eat them. I think in the future, I'd love to have a giant cabbage field though, because that seems to be the best crop when it comes to saturation, at least that I've seen so far. Maybe there are better ones. More food. And I noticed that there was a lot of these mushrooms, and I'd like to harvest these because I would like to incorporate them in the meals I make. I went to my old settlement to forge a new chisel, but then I realized I forgot my hammer here, which it doesn't take any durability damage when you're chiseling, which I didn't know, so I can just leave it over there. But while I was over there, I just gathered up a bunch of mushrooms and meat, and so I'm gonna cook it all down because I got like no more food. But once this cooks down, I'm gonna go back over there, make a chisel, come back, and finish up the loose ends of the house. And so for the 100th time this episode, I walked all the way back to my starting area and I crafted myself a new chisel. And I also grabbed a bunch of seeds and other random stuff to take back with me. Once I returned with my brand new chisel in hand, I went ahead and finished the exterior of the build. And I will say, I think the new house is starting to finally feel like home. Alright, so we got a lot done in today's episode. Did a lot of exploring, a lot of building. And you know what? I'm super proud with how this house turned out. It's not 100% complete. Don't look at the sides or the back. It's pretty barren. I didn't even get to chiseling this section yet. And I need to add in more windows as well. Definitely going to try and do that between episodes, as I'd like another one right here, maybe one right here, and definitely a big one right here. Maybe like a bay view window or something with like a little dining area, so that I have an awesome view of this mountain. Because, I mean, obviously part of the reason why we built here was this awesome view. And the interior isn't even close to finished. I don't want to have my stuff just scattered around here. I'd like to have this be like the living room and then section this off and have this be my kitchen. I've got to fix the windows from the inside because they look good from the outside, but on the inside, they're kind of hideous. Again, all stuff I'll just do between episodes because this one's already getting long enough. But yeah, I'm super proud of today's build and I hope you guys like it as well. And it just makes me more excited for what I'll be working on in the next episode and starting to turn this place into an actual functioning medieval town. I'm so excited. And if that piques your interest, maybe subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And while you're at it, maybe like and leave a comment. Oh, actually, comment what your guys' vintage story projects are, because I'd love a little bit of inspiration or just to see what you guys are up to. I always love hearing about that stuff. That all being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.